Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to my home. Today we are going to be working on some pineapple salsa. I have a flurry of activity here on the homestead, and I can't wait to share all of these things with you. Good morning, everyone. It's bright and early, and welcome to the old-fashioned kitchen. So the old-fashioned kitchen was something of a memory of my grandma. My grandma was always working in the kitchen, and today I want to share with you what I'm working on. So we're harvesting a lot of tomatoes. Each day I harvest tomatoes, and then after about 3 or 4 days, I end up processing them and preserving them. Today we are going to make some homemade salsa. That is a very old Amish recipe. The first thing that we're doing is we're scalding the tomatoes so we can take the skins off of them. This is an old way of preparing your tomatoes. So we put them in scalding water, and then we put them in cold water, and all of the skins will slip off really easy. So we're going to do this for all the tomatoes and then cut them up, and that's step number 1. And now I added everything. I added the tomatoes, the onions, the peppers, and I put it all together. Now what we're going to do is I am using the blender, but you don't have to. I just want it to make it a little more smoother and not quite so chunky. So I only use this for about a minute to a minute and a half. A flurry of activity. So I have been every day collecting about a basket full of tomatoes, and after about 4 to 5 days I have enough of tomatoes that I can can them. And this is how I love canning. That way it's not such a big project at one time. So let me show you what we got. These days I work in batches. I prepared my tomatoes yesterday, and now today all that I have to do is put the rest of the ingredients. We had some frozen pineapples that I found in the freezer. We have all of my homegrown tomatoes, and we have some onions that I found in the freezer, and this is what it looks like. Now all we have to do is put the other ingredients together with it. The recipe I will share in the description box. It's 14 cups of chopped tomatoes, 3 cups of chopped onion, a half a cup of bell pepper, and 8 ounces of tomato paste, a half a cup of sugar, a 1/3 cup of vinegar, 3 tablespoons of salt, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and 3 tablespoons of clear gel. Now the clear gel is to help it get a little thicker. So what I'm going to do on camera is just put everything together at once, and then we are going to stir it until it's good and hot and everything is incorporated together. Now of course I will taste this once it's really good and hot and see if I need any more flavoring. I'm going to go with only 2 tablespoons of the salt to start, because 3 seems very high for me. You want to give it a taste? That's perfect. Woo! Has a little bit of a kick to it. All right, so I'm going to put everything away, and then I'll get working on another small project. I thought for something different, I would change the angle of the camera. That way you can see a full picture of my kitchen. I really like how my kitchen is laid out, and I really like the window that looks towards the back of our property. I get to see the field and all of the beautiful old buildings behind us. I'm going to jar everything up, then we will put it in the water bath canner for about 45 minutes. People ask me all the time, how much headspace. I just fill it to the bottom rim here. Now, because this has some of the clear gel, it will thicken up, and that means it may boil up a little higher. So I always make sure I have plenty of headspace so it doesn't boil out over the jars. If it does boil out over the jars and it's still sealed, you're fine as long as it's sealed. I do use bowl lids. Now, I do have another kind of lid that I really love, but I'm going to be using up these bowl lids today. With the leftover tomatoes, the very next day, I made a big pot of chili. We eat chili here all the time, so we eat it in all different seasons. And then it's time to set out new tomatoes that I just harvested, and I set them out to totally ripen. Well, my friends, it's been another great morning, and I hope that you enjoyed my videos. And I can't wait to share with you again tomorrow what I'm working on. Right now, it's a lot of harvesting, but soon the winter will be here, and then the snow will be flying, and we'll be stuck in our homes. I'm thinking this year of having a lot of projects outside, even in the wintertime, to keep me motivated. But right now, we're just enjoying the old-fashioned Grandma's garden and Grandma's kitchen and Grandma's life. And what would you do if the dollar crashed today? What would Grandma have done? Well, Grandma lived through it, and we can learn so much from her. Because of the severe dry weather, we have amazing grapes, and I cannot wait for our grape harvest. I'm really excited. They are so sweet already. We have to wait just a little bit longer. That's coming up here real soon.